Hello, Noela. How are you this morning?
Great, thanks, Muriel. How are you doing?
Very well. Very happy that Jupiter is moving forwards finally. So very
Yeah,
excited this week. Okay, Noela, could you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
yeah, definitely. Hi, everyone. My name's Noela, and I am a mum of three, and I've been on a bit of a journey this last 6 years. My current partner, I have had for 8 years, and 2 years into our relationship, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So that was a bit of a surprise for us, as you would imagine, and so that sent us on a bit of a journey. He ended up having his prostate removed, but what we found out was that there actually wasn't a lot of support other than the medical. This is what you need to do before surgery. This is what you need to do afterwards. We really wanted to understand what we could do in our lifestyle, think changes we might need to make, or ways we could support his healing moving forward, and also to make sure that our lifestyle was conducive to him not having a recurrence of cancer. So that's been a huge journey, one of self-exploration as well. And we've just sort of bounced our way from one topic to another all the way through it. And during that process, I actually got qualified as a meditation teacher because we started with the whole stress part. And I'm also a holistic counsellor. I like to work in the mind-body mentoring kind of field, so how your mind is connected to your body health-wise. And I do also some energy healing as well. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. And I'm really passionate about sharing what it is that I've learnt in those past 6 years. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning all the time with others to empower them to and it doesn't have to be a cancer journey, so to speak, but just with their health and happiness moving forward in their life.
So important, exactly right. People are only really discovering how there is this connection between emotions and diseases. And if
Yeah.
you don't have all that aligned, there's definitely going to be some problems. So, what would you say that your values are in life?
Oh, this is interesting because as a young person, I don't think that was something that was ever spoken about with me. And I think through this whole process, I've discovered things that are really important to me, which obviously I class as my values. And those things are honesty is a big one for me, respect. So that can be respect on a huge scale. So respect for yourself, most importantly, respect for others, respecting that others have different opinions to you, but that's okay. You just respect that they're different to you, and that's how it is. And it's a good thing. It would be pretty boring if we're all the same. Having compassion. Compassion is a huge thing that also works alongside with the respect, having compassion for other people, although they might be different. Showing kindness to everybody is really important. Kindness is a huge thing, especially this day and age with everything happening at the moment. We need to be kind to others and understand that how they're experiencing what's happening at the moment is maybe different to you, but they need to have everybody needs kindness in their life. They need to have that you accept that theirs might be different, but that's okay too. A big thing for me is, and I've developed this over time, is having courage to stand up for what I believe in. So I'm not just talking about going out on the street and protesting, but having courage within myself to stand up for myself and what I feel my beliefs are, even though it may be confronting for others and others may not agree with that. Having that courage to stand in what I know is right for me and what I feel is my truth, and that's okay that others don't agree with me, but having the courage to stand up and say, this is who I am and this is what I believe and this is what I feel. And having a big thing is also having personal responsibility for the choices that I've made in my life, the good ones and the bad, because they've all made me who I am today. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for some of the not so great decisions. And also understanding how decisions that I make have also effect on other people around me, humanity as a whole, and this planet. Like, we really are stewards of this planet. And yeah, I really look at the bigger picture with that as well.
Yes, and there's a lot of things happening on that level for the moment, that's for sure,
Yeah.
the shift we're going through. And how do you help people? How do you now help people, and what do you offer in your mentoring to be able to do that?
Okay. My favorite thing to do with people in my mentoring, I'd say that I offer guidance and that kind of mentoring. So it's not a delivery. I don't like to deliver it as in, I think you need to do this. It's, let's talk about the situation that you're in, or the complications that you're having, or what your health is at the moment. And let's work out a way that you can address some of those things by looking at your whole life, your whole lifestyle, all different areas of your life. So whether it's emotional or mental areas that you might be suffering in, it could be physical, having a spiritual connection, whatever that may be. And so I look at areas like stress management, understanding what stress really is. Most of us are very stressed, and we don't even know that we're stressed because it's our new normal. So we don't understand what it actually is to be relaxed. And that's a huge thing that I learnt. Self-love and self-care. We really need to love ourselves and spend some time nurturing ourselves. And I know as a mum, that's something we always tend to put in the background until we get that little bit older and then understand that if we don't look after ourselves, then our children and our family are not going to be looked after. It's hard to, as I say, hard to work from a half empty cup. You need to have a full cup to be able to give to others. Having an emotional awareness. I also talk about emotional awareness with people. And so it's not, I wouldn't say psychology sort of way, but having an awareness of what you feel and maybe why you feel and how that shows up for you in your health in a physical way too, because our emotions really do affect our physicality. Looking at external and internal toxins that you may have in your life, that some of them are very easy to get rid of or lessen your exposure to. They have a huge impact on our health as well. Looking at your personal community and environmental connection. So we're connected very deeply. I'm very deeply connected to the planet, to the earth. It's my place, sacred place. I like to be by myself to feel well and empowered. But I like to teach people to have an understanding of, it's really important to have connection. Humans need connection with each other. And that's, I think, also why this time in humanity has been very difficult, because we have been forced to distance ourselves from people, and we really need that connection, and not just talking to each other, connecting with people, touching, laughing, hugging. Really, really, really important, I think, for human health. And also then I can also discuss things like ways to relax and meditation even. And meditation can be quite basic, can just be breathing, can just be a guided meditation, but that also helps you to learn how to relax and calm your stress response in your body, which does lead to illness over long term. And also looking at energy. So how different things, that's a really big topic, how different things can affect your energy. That could be things in your home, people that you're around. Yeah, it's a big topic. So I really like to explore those topics with people, and some may do some of those and some may do others of those, but help to try and get them to find a balance and to be more aware and conscious, to make choices in those areas, rather than me just say, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm really about empowering people to learn for themselves and empower themselves.
That is correct. And everyone is so different. For sure, everyone is really different and will work differently for sure. So how have you used what you teach in your own life?
Oh, that's a big one. So yeah, over the past 5 years, it's been a pretty big journey. So my partner, I have to say, is for all intents and purposes very well, but test results might say a little bit differently. We're yet to have another lot soon, but it's been tricky, because it's, a lot of us are brought up with certain beliefs around health and how we deal with things when we get ill. And he certainly was brought up in a very different way as to I was. But from that experience, I think when we asked a simple question of, what can we do to support his health, and we didn't really get any answers, he was like, this doesn't, that's not right. It shouldn't be that way. So he's really we've both been on a big journey together. So, so we've done a huge amount of things. We've moved from where we were living. We've moved somewhere that's more eco-friendly. We live off the grid. We have tank water. So our tank water is really clean, or as clean as it can be. So we're not getting fluoride in our water. We've also looked at, changed our beliefs a bit, I think. Instead of being so rigid, we tend to look for information, assess the information, and then make choices on that information. So a wide variety of information rather than just going, okay, well, this is what we're told, this must be the truth. So that's changed for us. We've removed a lot of toxic things out of our life. So down to the level, and I will talk about this in my masterclass, down to the level of personal care products you use, cleaning products you use in your home. They can have actually a huge effect on your toxic level in your body. I have a whole new understanding of what health it is to be healthy for me. It's not just, and I don't like to use the word diet, it's not just about nutrition and what you eat, it's what you drink, it's what you do, it's how you think, it's what you're exposed to, habits that you do every day. And to me, our life has evolved to something that's much more richer, and I feel more empowered with my life. And I know that sometimes people will say, well, what if you do all that and it doesn't make any difference? But I take the look of, it can only add to my life. It only makes my life better. It only makes the way that I connect with people better, how I feel on a daily basis better. Yeah. So that, and I've also explored my relationship with myself a lot. That's been a really big thing. So understanding why I think certain ways, why I react to things in certain ways, and that's got a lot to do with our subconscious. And looking at that, developing that. And one of the biggest things is having gratitude for absolutely everything in my life. The good things and the things that I might think that weren't very good, I'm grateful for those, because without those, I wouldn't be here. And I practice gratitude daily. I think it's a really important thing and a very simple thing that people can do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And that changes everything. And gratitude changes even people to their DNAs. And
yes.
So that is absolutely amazing. Okay, so that brings us to the other question. What is your vision for your business?
Oh, this is, I have a pretty big vision. It's not very detailed, but I really want to create a network or a community of people worldwide that are just conscious, understand themselves and where they fit in the big picture, and people that want to live an empowered life, so want to be able to look and make choices for themselves that are in their life and living their life, not just someone following the norm, being told, and you need to go here and do that, you need to go here and do that. Like actually alive, present in their life and aware, and people that are led by their heart and who share the same values as I do.
Yes. And you are putting all that in your program that you will start in November
yes.
as well anyway. So
yeah.
that will help them to be able to get there, because it's true, a lot of people don't really know how to get there.
No, they don't. I had no idea when I started that I would be here and that I'd know what I know. I had no idea at all. And it's a gradual thing. It's not something you can wake up the next day and go, oh, yep, I understand. I've got it all.
No, it's a journey. It is a journey.
Yeah.
Well, that brings me to my other question. What legacy do you want to leave behind?
Oh, okay. This is a big one. The most powerful part of my legacy is I want to set a really powerful example for my children. So I have 2 adult children and my son is 13, but they currently are all living with me, which is fun, but they're always watching. They're always observing. They might not agree or say to you, yeah, I understand, but they're listening. And the role model that you set for them is a really important one. And I've learned a lot about that just by understanding my thoughts and beliefs have come from when I was raised. So it's a really important thing, I think, to give your children powerful examples. I really would like them to understand, way before I came to understand themselves, to understand who they are, to be really connected to themselves and understand what their purpose is, or try to understand what their purpose is, to do that at an early age. It would just lead to, I think, a much better, a more fulfilled life. We really need to be passionate about what we do, not be just waking up and going, oh, I've got to do this today. It's just a very different way of living, really different way of living. So so I'd like also for them to understand what it is to be compassionate to others and themselves, and to be courageous. You need to be courageous if you want to go out and live your purpose. You've really got to, I'm learning that every day, you've really got to be courageous and put yourself out there. Even when you're uncomfortable, it's the time when you're growing the most. So I really want to be somebody that they can look up to as far as that, or remember, oh yeah, mum did that, that's how I learned to do that. That would be really good. And I want them to live a life that's filled with joy. I want them to know what joy is. And joy is different for everyone, but I want them to be happy. I want them to be grateful and not live with regret. That's we've discussed this before. Regret's not something that you ever want to have. And then I also want to inspire others to show kindness to everybody. The world needs so much more kindness and love. It would be a much better place if that's where we all came from. And to find joy in the little things, to understand how magnificent this planet is that we live on, and how there's so many amazing little things that we don't even see that are just like blow my mind, and they contribute to our life and we just have no idea. And to love themselves and each other and the planet. That is what I'd like to leave behind for people.
That's exactly what is needed right now. Exactly what people need to do right now. And I actually believe that what is happening into the planet and what is happening into the world is actually coming from that. Is actually the whole reason why all that is happening, because we weren't respecting the planet Earth, we weren't respecting ourselves, a lot of people weren't working on purpose or doing what was their mission onto this planet, or doing the right things, or learning about themselves. And I think all that is actually blowing up on a conscious or unconscious level, because we were on the wrong track.
And that's funny that you say that, because it's exactly what happens with your body. We don't listen. It talks to us all the time. It whispers to us. It gives us little signs that something's not right or something's out of balance. And when we don't listen, then we will get something like a disease, or we'll get a cancer diagnosis. And that's because it's tried to tell us, but we haven't listened. And so you're exactly right. What's happened, I totally agree, is that we've not listened. We've just abused. We're toxifying our planet. We're not supporting each other. We're not understanding that we are of this planet. Like, without it, we don't exist. So yeah, very true. Very true.
Paradise, as you say, it is a paradise. We simply live in a paradise, but people just don't take the time. It's kind of create office, working, money, paying bills, and completely lost themselves and their inner selves, as you said. And that's
which is easy to do. Easy to lose yourself.
That's why they have to come and join you. So that's exactly right. That takes me to my last question. Where can they find you? Where can I come to that masterclass? Because that masterclass is absolutely, key and essential with that knowledge that you can be giving them and helping them. Where can they find you? When is it? And where?
So the masterclass is on this Friday, the 18th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the link I will actually put in my personal page on Facebook, which is just Noela Matthews, but I also have a personal business page. but I'll put it in my personal page as well, and I know that you'll be sharing it a little bit as well. So in that masterclass, I'm going to talk about a little bit more about what some of the topics that I've mentioned, and give some tips or some ideas on how those things actually contribute to our health. And then, of course, in my program, there'll be much more detail of how you can go about looking at each of those areas and making changes, obviously with support from me, to work through those areas to make improvements in your life. But yeah, I'm really excited to share. It's going to be, I struggled to put everything I wanted to in there, but yeah, just a little bit of everything, just so people understand what it's all about.
And they can always follow you, right? Exactly right. They can always come and work with you and really make these differences after that with one-on-one sessions and everything.
Yeah, I love working one-on-one with people. It's really nice. You get that, you get a good rapport and a better understanding. And I'm quite intuitive with people too, so I can pick up on things as well randomly. It's funny, but yes.
And do you have a special offer in that masterclass?
Yes, there will be an offer. There's a discount for the program, and I will be offering a couple of gifts for people that attend the masterclass or purchase a masterclass and get sent the recording, because it's going to be available as a recording as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Noela. I cannot wait. I will also be watching for sure that masterclass, and I just cannot wait to be there, and all along the way, and share with you that journey, because absolutely right. You are completely right. Everything that you just said is the key for humanity, and there's no many other way out. To be really honest about that, is about learning the self and helping the planet and being well connected, and all that knowledge is absolutely amazing. And yes, I'm really happy to have you on our team, and to have you in the elites. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you everybody who's watching. I hope to see you on Friday.
Yes, everyone. You need to be there, and you need to be watching all that knowledge. Is going to be absolutely awesome. Thank you, Noela, for your time.
Thank you.